Hey YouTube, this is Steph again, and I want to show you kind of a bonus tips and tricks. If you haven't checked out my latest tutorial on lighting and how I did that using natural light, the best times of day to shoot, you should totally check it out. But this is just as a bonus tip. Okay, this is using absolutely 100% natural lighting, well, other than my little ring light there, but it's using 100% natural lighting in terms of my source lights and how to use it creatively in a setting that looks like a studio. I just made a tutorial here, but I did have the chance to fit it with the other content that I had. I felt like it was enough for one video, so here's a total separate video. It's very short on some tips and tricks on how you can seemingly put it in to a studio setting. So check it out. Now, these two other ones are totally side topic. Now I want to show you what you can do with absolutely 100% natural light. Well, I mean, other than like, I'll tell you in a moment. One is a nerd one, and one of them is a little bit more nerdy, but it seems like it's studio lighting. That's my point. And then a second one is a photo shoot that I did because I really wanted to try. I've seen stuff on like Flearn.com and just what they were able to capture with an athletic look, and I'll show you in just a moment. But I really wanted to just give it a shot, try it out, and do more like high pass filters. But this is shot completely natural. So the first one here I did for May 4th. I did like a whole tutorial on the, like what actual lightsabers, how to make it more realistic. Boom. It's nerdy beyond all belief. Okay, but I just did want to talk about it because I had the light source coming from that lightsaber onto my face. As I explained in that tutorial, I have a ring light that I use. And that's the only light that I would use that's not natural lighting, and that gives that little sparkle in my eye there. But beside me on this side of my face, it is totally a window. I'm in the basement. There's a window there. It's shooting a natural source of light onto my face, and it is not studio lighting. The reason why it looks studio is because there's a light there, and behind me is a V flat. Okay, a V flat is a board or two boards on a hinge, okay, like a book, and one side it's one of those hinges that completely turn around, like completely like this, and it goes like this. Anyway, I look like an idiot doing this. But one side is white, and on the inside is gray, is a dark gray, and that's why behind me here I was able to capture that because it looks like I'm in a studio. It looks like I'm in a studio, but it's actually just a light source coming from beside me. Now I want to show you this last one that I did, and I thought the results were like totally awesome. Well, I thought it was cool, and I'll show you the secret on how I did it. So here I have, it's more of a sports athletic look to this. Now what I did here was, now in post I did put some high pass filters and some to really accentuate the skin tones, what the skin is doing, because ultimately, because it's almost black and white, you really want the contrast from the lightest to the darkest to really shine here. Now let me talk about this first. So I'll show you a picture of what this V flat actually looks like. So this V flat here that's literally the gray board, and I have two light sources coming from each side of me. Now the key to this with both of these images here, it looks like studio lighting because those are my natural light sources. That's all I'm using for this. It's literally just natural light source, a V flat behind me, and a camera on a tripod. And both of these I shot by myself, and it was just a 10-second timer. Boom. It was actually a lot more challenging than that because I had to put the camera on a tripod. I had to put a second tripod where I was standing, click it focuses, and I have 10 seconds to move the tripod out of the way and stand, pose, take the shot, and then check the shot to see what I need to change. So that's literally how I did this shot. Now the key to this like more sport athletic look is that the light source is behind me, and it does what it's called a light wrap. So the light hits with the back of me is totally lit, and the light wraps around the front of my body. So here beside me, it's totally dark because the light is not hitting it, at all, it's called a light wrap. And so I have a light source on one side, light source on the other side, and the gray on here is like the gray color of the wall behind me. It's a very light gray, but in this darkness, it looks so dark. And so, and in this picture, it ultimately looks black because of the lack of lighting. So this one was totally, it just totally turned out so well. Extremely difficult to shoot because I didn't have a photographer with me. And then I put a couple high pass filters to give it that edgy kind of look that I wanted to get, that gritty look that you would get in sports illustrations, or like a boxing look, or you can make a Wolverine look if you're into that kind of cool stuff. I could do like the claws and whatever. But ultimately I wanted to give it a shot, and I've always wanted to do a shoot like this. And this is using 100% natural lighting. So that is literally it for today. Just a couple tips and tricks on what you can do with what seems to be studio lighting. It's extremely cheap. You don't have to pay for giant lights or light sources. It's just being creative with the light that is given to you. Anyway, I just wanted to show this to you as a little bonus, something that you can do and explore for yourself, trying that kind of aggressive studio look and what you can achieve with that lighting. Anyway, my name is Steph, and we'll see you next time. Bye.